my goodness. It's so good to see you. First of all, I want to welcome and everybody welcome the one and only Miss Angela White, Blac Chyna. This is our set. This is, I don't really want to call it a show. I want to call it a conversation.
This is our conversation.
This is our conversation. Yes, it is. This is our first time really sitting down, talking to each other face to face, because we have been in communication with each other, but this is our first time sitting down, communicating with each other face to face in over 5 years.
Yes.
That is a long time.
That's a long time.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
How much did you miss me? I need to know.
A lot.
You did?
Yeah.
I really missed you a whole lot too. You know that?
This is much needed. This is much needed. You look very beautiful.
Oh, spider.
You look gorgeous.
Thank you. So do you.
No,
you gonna have me getting all extra. You know I'm a softie. You know I'm a softie. I tried to keep myself aligned, and I have all of these amazing questions that I do want to ask you because, like I said, this is a conversation, and this is a conversation not just for us, but for so many people out in the world who have had conflicts or disagreements, arguments, whatever it is that separated you from somebody that you love.
Yes.
Someone that you love, especially for this long. I think that's the biggest bummer. Like it's been so long since we have been around each other and you were such a big part of my life. I really did miss you, and I'm really happy that we could not just do this for ourselves, but show the world.
And show other people too, and just be authentic and say our own truths.
Yes, it really is. A whole lot of people don't really know who we are.
Right.
They don't know where we came from. Some people don't even know that you actually are from D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from D.C., Uptown Honeys. You know what I'm saying? You know what to do. But the people who do know us, or should I say the people who have seen us, a lot of people have seen us on television together. Right. And when they saw us on television together, of course, they like, okay, best friends, they're cool, they're living life, they're out in LA. And then we kind of had a public dispute, which kind of just turned our relationship a little bit not in the best light. And it separated us. So we're going to get back to that. But before we get to that, I really, really, really would like to let the people who don't know us know exactly what we're doing here, who we are, where we came from, and a little bit about ourselves. I want to let you talk first. Okay. So who are you? Who is Angela White?
Yeah, my name is Angela White, better known as Blac Chyna. I'm a mother, an entrepreneur. I'm a mother of two, entrepreneur, musician, actress, all of these things. And I'm Treasure's best friend.
Oh, listen. See, that's how she said she's my best friend. And if you did not know, she was my best friend. Well, we're getting back to there. We were best friends for about 14 years.
Yeah.
We met in D.C. Well, we met in Maryland, actually.
We met in Maryland.
Yes.
I hollered at her. And I was like...
She hollered at me.
I hollered at her. I was like, looking at her, I was like, you know what? You look like you could be my sister.
Yes. That's
and
exactly
then
how
she
it
was
happened.
Like, ugh.
Yes.
And
We was
okay.
in the club. We was in the club. I was not interested in other people. I was just trying to make me some money and go home. That was just like my thesis. And she was like the popular girl. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody is like, what, Blac Chyna, because I'm calling, that's what it was back then. It was Blac Chyna, Blac Chyna, Blac Chyna. And I was a little intimidated. Like when I'm coming up in the club, I already had kids. I had my mom boobs. I had the soft body. I wasn't looking all cut up. You ain't had no kids back then.
Nobody wasn't paying attention to none of that.
Man, they wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention, man. And it was a little intimidating. And then for you to just walk up to like the most popular girl in the club, Blac Chyna, you just walked up to me and like, hey. And how did it go from there? I think you asked me for my number.
Yeah, we should go out and do something.
Yes, that's what you did.
Because the thing about it is, you guys, like dancers, they don't really go out and do stuff. And they don't know how to dress. But when we went out and I seen your outfit, I was like, okay, yeah, I like her.
So it was the outfit that did it for you. That was before 21 days. That was before 21.
Crazy.
Yes. Because the first time we went to a club, we definitely had X's on our hands.
For sure.
We was definitely not 21.
Oh, I would get me. I would find me a shot.
Yes.
I'm like, hey,
You
give me a shot.
definitely
Bring me like,
was.
well, I take it.
You know,
Throw in the trash can.
I don't know. When did I even start drinking? I think I started drinking. I was a late drinker. I didn't really start drinking until like maybe about 24, 25. Because I'm a smoker. So, I mean, that was just what I wanted to do. I'm like, I mean, I smoke, get high, something, but the drinking, I don't know. And other festive activities.
The drinking really didn't start until, well, for me, to Miami.
That is when it started for you. I remember after I had Davion.
It was Miami.
And the first time I came to Miami to see, the first time we went to Miami, we actually went together.
Went together.
We booked a trip. And
we took all our trips together.
We did.
And you would always book them. Let me tell y'all.
Go ahead. What?
Any trips, Treasure would book them. She would find them, and then not even just booking the trip, you would like find the local food.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting the whole itinerary down pat.
She had to make sure like the amenities was like up to par, like playing. All this stuff. Like me, I'd be like, okay, book a
She's the friend who's like,
and then try to figure it out when we get there.
She's like the friend who is like, how many how much does it cost? What are we going to be doing? Okay, I'll give you that. That's just what it's going to be. Oh my goodness, we have had a whole lot of memories together, but that first time in Miami, it was a lot going on that day. It was a lot going on that day. We'll be sitting right here talking forever if we keep on talking about
never.
Miami
I think that the craziest one was that Jamaica trip.
Yo, I swear to God, you jumping ahead. I have a question in here that even asks you, what's a wild time that we had? And I swear, I have even brought that up. And I said, yo, Jamaica? Yo, Jamaica, I don't know which one was worse. Was it Jamaica or Bahamas? Well, Bahamas probably for you.
For sure. No, it was, you remember Jamaica when we got out the boat, but we hit the boat and we was like, oh my God, we're gonna die. We're gonna die.
We cannot have sad conversations.
All right, yeah.
We're gonna be sitting and doing this for the whole time. It's been a while since we have been talking, but no. We definitely thought we were going to die. We definitely thought we were going to die. We had absolutely no business doing what we were doing.
Ladies, don't get on, if you go to Jamaica, you know what I mean, don't get on anybody's boat to go see any little island anywhere because you just never know.
You don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know what's going to happen.
You may need a life jacket to swim back. That's just all I'm going to say.
And we'll leave it.
We're going to leave it at that. But what made us become best friends? How did we become best friends or sisters in a fact?
Because we loved each other.
Oh, we love each other.
You
love me long time. I love you long time.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
When you best friends, they love each other.
I'm gonna be very honest. It was definitely you, and with any friendship, and I tell everybody, someone has to be the aggressor. If nobody is sitting and being like, oh, I really like this person, I'm gonna actually really try to be a part of this person's life, it'll never happen. And I remember it was you. You would just be calling me all hours of the night. What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm in the bed. Like, what do you what? Oh, nothing, I'm just calling you, seeing what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not doing that. Well, you wanna go get something to eat? And I'm like, all right. Then before I knew it, we was traveling, booking trips. Then from that, just starting getting noticed places. Then we started booking. Well, you started booking. We started booking in DC. With if you're from DC, you know all of the top promoters there, Mark Spain, and all of them. We used to be up in all of the clubs. We used to be up in there for a bottle at $250.
Mind you, mad young.
Mad young. We weren't even 21. So, yeah, and then once we hit 21, it was like we was hitting different states.
Yeah, because I moved away when I was 20 to Miami.
Yes. And then you first went to school there.
Yeah.
You started off at school, yes. And then...
Well, was out the window.
I was about to say, was it me? I think I was like, do you remember that conversation?
Which one?
And I was like, you're going to be in school, but you're going to end up with...
Oh my gosh!
I think I'm a psychic. I have to be a psychic because I most definitely did call all of the cards.
No, she was like, you're going to go to Miami. You say you're just going to be in school. Then you're going to meet a rapper. Then you're going to be like this model girl. And then you're going to blow up. And I was like, I don't know if it was on the phone.
You was like, I'm going to school.
I'm going to school. I'm not going to be nobody's rapper girl.
I'm not going to be a rapper's baby mama. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. I was like, listen, it's already in the cards, ma'am. It's already in the cards.
4 years later.
Hey. Was it even?
Yeah.
It was exactly 4 years later?
Or 3.
Oh, around that time.
I had King when I was 24.
Yes. Okay. Well,
time flies.
Time does fly. Dang, that was so many years ago. Now we're in 2025. What are you doing in life right now? I know we're here, you're going to school. You're doing, you already said that you're doing your acting, you're doing all of that. I'm doing a little bit of acting. I'm doing my school, going back to school. I'm a nurse now. Life is just changing. It's evolving. Look
pretty.
Look at how we came from little dancers. You're so pretty. Oh, you should be sitting closer to me. Come on, girl. Come on.
No, I really.
Look, I'm about to say, we gotta be comfortable in here.
Yeah, no, it's like, honestly, I really truly love you, and I'm just happy to be here.
You are. I'm really happy that you agreed to come. Like this was you being here, and I drove. I was like, look, I'm coming. I was like, you there? I'm coming. I'm happy. I really am.
Yeah, and it's like moving forward, and it's like a lot of times people don't know how to move forward in life. And that's one of the reasons why I just always loved you, because you was never weak. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I know, like, and I just love strong women. Mm-hmm. A strong woman. Mm-hmm. And that's what drew me towards you, because you wasn't weak.
Really?
Yeah. You should know this, though.
I mean, I do know this. Well, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be up in here crying. You're not going to sit and make me cry up in here.
But it's true, though. You asked me, like, what is it? And I had to, like, think about it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's just what it is. And you're caring, too.
Yes.
So even with you with the nursing, it's not too far off, because you've helped me and nursed me through many of times in my life. From my lowest, darkest moments, you was there to, like, nurse me back to health. Yeah, literally. Even when my butt shots was making me sick.
Angie, I wasn't playing that day. I was like, no, you're going to get better. I got you. I know I have pretty much been a nurse, and I was. But that's
just
love.
in you.
Yeah, I love you, though, and I always wanted to make sure that you was good. That was like... I mean, my sister, my little sister at that. I mean, we ain't that far. We ain't a year, but I mean, it's still. Look, I mean, who's counting? That's what the thing say. But I mean, I do love you, and I always wanted to make sure that you was good. That's why. And I mean, I know this is like I don't want to drag the room, but like separating from people. When you separate from people in life, it's hard. For me personally, it was really, really hard, because the person I'm sitting and we're talking specifically about you. I was forced to separate from you. It wasn't by choice. And I'm sure other people can relate. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't always get a say-so in the relationships that you get to keep in life. So it feels good for one to hear you say those things about me, because when so many things was crashing all around me, when we were having issues and they was becoming public, it really did make me reevaluate myself. And I had to like really sit and think and wonder, is it me? Like, did I do something? Am I a bad friend? Like, do I deserve this? Like, I mean, what could I have done to prevent it from happening? And how would me not being around, how would you say protected? You know, like being someone who, like how you said, had been there literally our entire adult lives, over a decade from the beginning, like seeing you out, watching you grow. Like I was at the bank the day when, the first time you cashed a $20,000 check with your name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a part of those memories, and it was never no shade. It was never no hate. It was always pure and genuine love. So with all of that, even moving to Cali, it was, full love for you, you know what I'm saying, and wanting to be there with you. Even my family was mad at me, and it was like, you love her more, and I was like, well, you know what, and
we should share darkest
yeah.
we were
You was there for you was, and I told my sisters
Yeah.
that I was like, man, that girl has done things for me that y'all can't even fathom. She has, and I've shared that with people. Yes, we had a very public breakup, but that did not mean everything was all bad. You know what I'm saying? It was like even small things, like, I love elephants. You would bring me an elephant from when you go out the country if I didn't go with you, because 90% of the times I would be with you.
Yeah.
But like just small things like that, to have such a connection with somebody and to have it taken away so fast.
It was people around me that wanted me like literally to themselves.
It was.
So it was like distract. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't have like the authentic people around me at the time.
And I think also with me I was dealing with a lot of personal stuff when all of that stuff was going on.
And I think Jenny wasn't even around. Because
Yeah,
Jenny would have pulled me like.
Yeah. And
they got you and Cheekies up out of there.
Yeah.
You and Jenny. Yeah. The closest people that was with me this whole entire time. It was like get rid of Cheekies and get Treasure up out of there.
Yeah.
And that's what they did, and I didn't see it because obviously I'm under the influence. And then time goes by, and a little bit more time goes by, you're not reminded of certain things. Then you're on to the next, and there's always some drama with the whole Blac Chyna thing, and it's like this didn't happen. So I never had a time where I could like just really sit down and reflect of like what was going on, because I just didn't care, because people on the internet already didn't like me, and they never liked me, Treasure, on the internet until recent. They never liked me on the internet. Nobody. And I would sit up there with Treasure.
I was about to say I knew firsthand.
And I would literally cry about it because I was so misunderstood. And that wasn't the person.
You never responded online. You would just call me. We would vent about it. We would talk about it and all of that. So unfortunately for me, when I was getting dragged...
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm gonna bring it. When I was getting dragged by the internet and was being called all types of broke best friends and users and all of this types of stuff, the only person who I wanted to talk to, who even understood me, was you. And I couldn't, because other people had infiltrated our bond.
And I'm pretty sure it was people on your side too. Like, you don't need her. You don't need to talk to her. So don't act like it wasn't just people on my side.
I'm going to be very, very, very honest. There was not one person who said that. I mean, no. After the fact, when the show aired, and they was like, whoa. They like, Treasure. Everybody was more like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knew that they know that I loved you. You know what I'm saying? And I still do. I love you. They like, Treasure, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Like family members, my cousin who I hadn't talked to in maybe like 5 years, she's seeing it on the internet, and she was like, you live with her? And I'm like, where are these stories coming from? A story had came up that I was living with you and you put me out. And I was like, what? This is my blood cousin was telling me this. And she was like, I'll come out there and get you. You could cut. And I was like, girl, I have my own house.
Like we never lived together.
I was like,
that would have been fun though.
You wanted me to live with you. You
that
know it.
Fun.
Yes, you wanted me to live with you. But I just I don't know how we would have actually been able to do. We would have had too much fun. We would have just been partying and, well, I mean, maybe not now, but back then we would have been turning.
Oh yeah. Party time.
We was definitely having some good times back then. Listen, the world wasn't ready for us back then.
No, and I feel like, honestly, everybody out here, y'all need to give us some grace, because we were very, very, very young.
Yeah.
Like, very young, like, doing all this stuff. Like, I don't think that people really factor in the age and how things was going at that fast pace like that.
Yes. Everybody talks about, cutting people off, or some people, when they actually do it, they're like, oh, I'm cutting that person off, or, oh, I don't need that person, and different things like that. My real friends, they know that it's grief that comes with cutting people off, and sometimes you really have to, like, you have to go through the motions of it, and it's hard for anybody that actually really has a connection with somebody to actually just just say, forget that person. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I think I was even in a little bit of an obsession. Like I was like, this girl is gonna call me. Do you remember you wasn't responding to my text messages? I was texting you, calling you, you wasn't responding. You was like, Treasure, stop texting me. And I was like, if you don't answer this phone, I'm gonna beat you up. And you was like, come do it. Come beat me up. Come do this.
Like, what the hell?
And I was like, I'm not playing with you. And he was like, so what? And I'm like, she thinks I'm playing. She thinks I'm playing. And then I was like, and then I let days go past. And I was like, it's been 30 days, Angela. And he was like, okay. Then I was like, after 90 days, I was like, it's been 90 days. You kept me out your life for 90 days. I'm not talking to you no more. This and this and that. My feelings was just hurt. And I was like, she must don't miss me. I was like, she doesn't want me anymore. Like, she's replaced me.
But I told you, like, when somebody, like me at the time, when you're struggling with alcohol addiction, you're not thinking about that.
I've never experienced that. I've been drunk before. I've even had alcohol poisoning before, but I can honestly say that I've never not a.
Have you
not
ever
a
made bad
constant thing.
decisions when you were drunk?
Most definitely.
Every time, right? Now imagine that in a loop.
Yeah. So you were just making bad decisions and it was feeling like a loop for you. How did you get out of that loop?
When I got saved. I just heard God one day, and I was just like, I gotta get baptized on my birthday. I gotta get baptized on my birthday. And that's what I did.
So God's voice finally got louder than the devil's, is what happened.
Sometimes it's our own voices too. Not everything is the devil. Some of the things is our own voices that's in our head or what's around or other people's voices too. Also too, you have to take into considerations like the things that was going on. You was there when I was getting ridiculed, lawsuits, all type of stuff. People left and right.
Right.
Parents and random people out of the blue.
And I tell people that too.
You know what I mean?
I actually have stated that. I said she was going through a lot.
And a lot of people wouldn't have made it out.
And you still going.
And from what I had to endure, like just from DC to Miami to LA, and while I'm still in LA, a lot of people won't make it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or go to the next level. Because it's so easy to stay somewhere and cut people off. That's the very easy thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I was sitting there saying. I said it's easy. I said, but like literally no one really talks about that. They don't talk about the pain and the grief that actually comes with it and standing on it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you do have to cut people off for your mental health.
Yeah.
For your own self. But a stronger healing is actually reconnecting with somebody who you should have never lost. Because I feel like I should have never lost you. And I also, like how you said, you're where we were friends. I was there. I did see what was going on. Maybe I should have fought a little bit harder.
No, I had nothing to do
I mean,
with you.
I mean, not even that. Like I saw what was going on, and you didn't see it until later. And when I saw what was going on, I tried to bring it to your attention, but like how you said, you didn't care. And then and I'm gonna be very honest, when it affected me, and now I'm looking crazy, you know what I'm saying? That's when I ran. That's when I ran into hiding. You know, I couldn't do anything. You know, like I was a business. I was a brand. I didn't have any energy to do anything because everything was just gone. It was just drained. It was just gone from me. And it was like, dang, I'm missing a part of my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just really gone. I know. Look, see, we sitting there talking and I don't even know what question we was even on. It's like
because it's not a scripted thing.
I know it's not. And that's what
when I came here, like it's not that. Let the cameras roll, whatever comes out. Sit comfortable because this is me and you. We don't have to put on for nobody no more.
Right. We never did.
Exactly. Yes. I'm like, we don't have to do all that. That's people don't want to see that. They want to see the real, the raw, the authentic. They want to see us.
Time flies, yo.
Yeah, the time flies, but I think that it was much needed because if the separation would not have happened, I wouldn't be for sure the person I am today.
And I like who you are today. Even we just hung out last night. And hanging out last night. I was still a little bit tired from driving and stuff, but I felt like I had a little energy charger. like your hugs and stuff. You're definitely charging up.
Yeah.
I feel different energy from you, and I really, really do like it.
I like it too, mommy.
Like I do. I like it too, mommy. You remember we used to say that all the time? Look, see?
Yep.
We had a whole lot of little catchphrases that we used to be saying. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Like, is there anything that you want to ask me that you want to talk about, that you want to get an answer for, that maybe you've had on your heart or something? Other than why I won't give you no booty. Just not that one.
Yeah, you guys. A lot of people like, oh my God, me and Treasure has never ever done anything
Never.
together. Just throw it out there. No, my question is just too deep for the camera. No.
Okay, we're gonna plan that trip. We was talking about we're gonna take us a trip, just me and you, and we're gonna sit in. We're gonna. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Treasure, I'm about to be 3 years sober.
I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Everything like leading up to this moment was like, it could only be God's work.
God does not play about his children. And listen, when you are obedient, he sets forth a path for you to walk on.
Okay.
And you seem to be walking. Like, I mean, I really, even yesterday, like, I mean, I witnessed it. We all having drinks. You was not drinking. And it wasn't even fazing you. It was like just, everybody knows that reality shows are edited for entertainment. So can we clear up a few things?
Go.
That's from the show. I want you to elaborate a little bit. We've been talking, so this right here is more so for other people. So other people can see that when you do have a falling out, whether if it's public or not, like, cause some people, they don't know how to judge if a relationship is worth saving. If you have to think about that person and wonder if the relationship is worth saving, then most likely it is. If it's a one-sided friendship where you feel as though the person just uses and abuses you, then you should probably get out of it. But I personally think that everyone, if anything, deserves one second chance. So, I mean, we've already even talked about possibly doing something else together. And I guess in a way, for so many years, because we didn't talk, I wasn't sure, like, was it all strategically planned with us not being friends? Because like with us being on the show.
Strategically planned not being friends?
Yes.
Is this really one of the thoughts?
No, this is, it's not even,
No, I know, I'm looking at you, like, you really think I strategically said I don't want to be friends?
You know what, Angie, I don't even think that it was you. I think
that
it was strategically planned. It was on the call sheet. It was on the call sheet.
Oh, you said for these 5 years.
No, I'm talking about, it's been 5 years.
No, you said 5 years.
No, how dare you try to stay away from me from 5 whole years.
I was like, how could somebody...
No.
What am I, Megamind?
I thought maybe it was strategic. Like, I mean, like, okay, and I'm gonna be very honest. Right. Timeline wise, let's be real. I'm gonna put the cards down. When we were filming the show, like I said, I want to get some clarity with a few things. When we were filming the show, we were told a timeline on payment, different things like that. 30 days or something after we had started filming. When you see the things, did you realize, or had it come to you? Because I know it was a lot going on. Did you realize that the day that we filmed on August 10th, when we had that falling out, which was on the call sheet, was the next day was going to be the 30th day from us filming? And it's crazy because that question just literally just came to my head, and I didn't even even think.
Day of what?
It was actually the 30th day, because me and you, we had a conversation. Remember, I was going through a whole lot. I had my house was just broken into. I just wanted to leave California initially. That's what it was. Me and you, you kind of, you were busy. You were always doing different things, and I was just like, you know what? Maybe I should just go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like that. I expressed that to you. You know what I'm saying? You told me, you was like, well, I mean, Treasure, like if that's what it is, and that's what it is. Then my house got broken into. I went, and I mean, we're not going to get into all of that. But after that had happened, I was mentally trying to get myself into a place, and financially, it just wasn't coming together. And I needed an outlet. Me and you were not as communicative, I would probably say, at that point, because you were building your new team, which consisted of people, you know what I'm saying, who were coming around. And personally, I was frustrated because I was going through so many different things, and then you're building a whole new team, which I, again, was not included in. And it appeared to me to be strategic as far as getting me out of your life. Like how you said, maybe it was the other people and other people who are not in your life who probably pushed it the most. But it seemed strategic that I was targeted in the show because or used or however people want to analyze it or whatever, because I was told something. I thought I was a part of the show. I thought we was family. I thought that we're doing the show, and then we was told 30 days later you would see the ratings, the numbers, everything, and we would be getting paid. Day 29 was August 10th, which was the day that we filmed, and the blow up of us arguing and all of that other stuff. That was the last day I saw you, and that was in 2019. August 10th. I did not see you another day again until yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was a lot because you wouldn't answer the phone, you wouldn't talk to me, and like I wasn't paid. So even after the show finished airing, that's when I was like, okay, finally the show is done airing. Let me call, see if I could get some money. And then Lim was like, no, we're not gonna pay you. And I'm just like, you just ruined my life, bro. Like, I lost my best friend, everything just happened. What do you mean you're not going to pay me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was devastated because I thought that it was strategic, because I'm like, okay, so you just cut off being obligated to have to pay me because.
Who, me?
No, not you. You not you. I'm talking about. I'm like, you cut
off
off being obligated to pay me because I wasn't. What did he say? I didn't film the rest of the episodes. That's what he said or something. I said, bro, y'all embarrassed me on this show, put me out the house, and never called me again. How was I ever supposed to come and finish filming anything? You know what I'm saying? Or anything. No communication, no nothing. And then I'm just still in LA. So because I did see it on the call sheet, I just have to know, were you aware of it?
No.
You never saw the call sheet? You never saw the call sheet that day?
Nope.
Okay. I will accept that because I believe that you're a God-fearing woman who would not lie.
You ain't got to bring God into this. You can just ask me.
No, I mean, because God...
No, if I seen it, I would have told you. I've always been open and honest with you. Like, Treasure, this is what they about to do. About everything. If somebody do something sneaky, I'm going to tell my friend and we're going to do it sneaky. So you get played. I've always been that way with you.
That's what the plan was supposed to have been.
No, I'm just telling you.
It ain't work out like that.
Right? So why would you ask me if I seen the producer sheet? Because if I would, I would have been like, Treasure, this is what they trying to do.
I didn't know.
Because why would I even take it there and get that upset? You get what I'm saying? With you.
I mean, I don't know. Because it was...
If I knew.
It was not... I didn't know what you was even angry for.
I was drunk.
Okay. Well, we have the answer. We have the answer, and it's so good, honestly, that we can laugh about this.
Big bottle of champagne underneath the sink.
I'm happy that we can laugh about this now because I know that I did come on everything. I mean, it just was off guard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
no, I love you, Chet.
I love you too.
I'm like, I would have told you, like, yo, this is what's up.
I mean, shoot,
I was put you up on game.
I was like, man, that's what I was hoping for, but I mean, it ain't end up happening like that. But it's cool. It's cool.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was nobody's fault.
So I mean, well, I can honestly say, I mean,
in the sense of that, it was just growing pains, and growing pains, that's what happens.
Yeah,
it was like we had to go to college or something, a different type of college,
right?
And then come back and
so. I mean, I can honestly say, being on the show, I personally regret being on the show. It's one of my biggest regrets of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And not because I did not want to support you in any type of way.
No.
It was because of the aftermath that came with my life after doing it. And I mean, so much stuff had actually changed for me. With everything that has changed, do you regret? Maybe do you think if I wasn't on the show, we would still have been friends? Or do you think that the show, I mean, that's what the
I think
trigger
something
was?
would have happened.
You think so?
Like I told you, like, if somebody's not in the right mindset, you're going to push everybody away because I don't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. I don't want to see it, any of that stuff. I want to be with my new people.
Right.
I don't want to take, it's called responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't trying to take it. Accountability, no, none of it. I'd rather be around new people. That's exactly what happened. So whether it was the show or if it could have been personal life stuff, you know what I mean? Like off camera stuff, something would have happened, but I'm glad that it did happen because now we can use this as a testimony to show that people could come back together. Because if it was never filmed, who would ever believe or say? Then we would never have came back together.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't caught on camera.
Right.
When something's caught on camera, I did
Dang
it.
cameras.
You
Ring
like,
cameras be catching everything now.
You know, I did that so you could go back and really relive that moment because we go through moments every day and we can only remember what we think and how we feel at that moment. But sometimes what we think or what we remember isn't the full truth. So sometimes like whatever we think in our mind, if we don't really see it on camera or hear like a voice thing or something like that, it'll switch up your thinking because it's not always the truth. But I definitely think it needed to happen, and everything happened exactly the way that it needed to happen for a bigger picture.
Okay.
And then I know for a fact that it wasn't no love lost because when I see you, I feel the same way. I've always felt.
And how is that? It's like, look at me trying to get all good. She's like, no.
It feels good.
I'm just playing.
It feels good. And our dynamic is I've always like, and Treasure's always like just soft and squishy and stuff. So don't think that I'm sitting here and I'm just like looking at her. This has always been me.
No, yeah, this is definite. And I'm not. And I used to tell
and
people.
Treasure's always soft and like
I used to
squishy
even
squat.
Do you remember? That's another time we got to go back to Miami. Like when after I had Davion and I came to Miami and I was like, do y'all know how tall she is? Why are y'all letting her talk to you people like this? You just was just like, I mean, just like, just literally
Godzilla.
just
For real.
Just, I mean, literally grown men slapping their drinks out their hand. Give me your money. Taking their money out their hand. I said, what in the world? I said, this kid? I said, you should be like, hold on. Gotta bring this up. Iconic moment of our lives.
Which one? Which one?
That tip out at KOD used to bust out brains.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what you did leaving? We was on our way to the Jag, boy. About to get ready to hop in the Jag and drop the top.
We love that baby blue Jag.
We was leaving out the door and you used to do you acting like you drunk. And I'm sitting, I'm like, she's okay, y'all. I got her.
I'm like this.
He like, yeah, I'm cussing everybody
I'm
out.
like, and when I come back,
you cussing everybody out just so she wouldn't have to pay her tip out. She just had the bag. She's like, Treasure, put your bag inside of my bag. Put your bag inside of my bag. I'm like, you ain't got to tell me twice. Do you remember? And we walked out the door without paying tip out. And I'm really thinking that you were like so drunk. You opened up that daggone car. You was like, ha, you like that, don't you? I said, what?
She was like, you're not drunk. I was like, no, I wasn't drunk. But $200 tip
I wasn't giving up no percentage.
Oh, no. And you
not tonight.
No. Y'all have to catch me on a different day. We're not doing that tonight. They was like, oh no, just let her go.
Just let her go. Bye.
She's gonna get crazy. I was like,
yeah, and they really were scared of you. I was like, yo, and that is actually how you be. I'm like, her bark is way bigger than her bite. You're really a little softy too.
I'm sweet.
You're a Sour Patch Kid. You're sour and then you're sweet. Like I think that would be it. And then you have facial expressions where you be like, what? Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
And then your facial expressions will tell a story before you do. Oh my goodness, like this actually feels good. See, just remembering certain things, even reminiscing on them actually with you, because so much lately I have been reminiscing without you. Like I hate when I ride past places or I see things that remind me of you and I'm like, oh man, you remember this? I'm like, dang, I remember when we did this. I remember when we went to this place, or cooking and the kids. Just everything, life in a whole.
Everything is a collective.
Yes. Man, life has changed so much. You know what I don't know if we can even say this, but I'm hoping that with our reconnection and with everything, you are able to find some time in your busy schedule for me. I know that you have a whole lot going on in your life with your
boring.
kids.
I ain't got nothing going. I'm chilling.
You don't
I'm
have
on
nothing
over,
going
yep.
on? Girl, you are booked and busy. Cut it out.
No.
So then that means you have time for me.
Yeah.
So that means we're going to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You heard Alex. Alex is already making trips.
Yes, I see. Listen, that's what I'm down for it. I'm gonna be honest though. I'm not scared, but I would like to make sure that, you know, everybody in the family is good as well. I do not know why it has been a issue publicly with your mom, but I love your mom, and I'm hoping that she loves me. She has messaged me over the time that we wasn't talking, and she has said positive things. So I'm hoping that they will continue, and she doesn't be mad at me for loving on her daughter. Because I think maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe that's just sometimes what it probably is. Like somebody else is getting love and attention that you want. You know, because I know I be feeling like that. I sure enough be looking and I be like, who is this person all with her? Like, too close, slide over, bruh. Like yeah. Like, who is this? You even last night you was sitting on some old lady lap. I said she didn't sit on my lap yet. With all of this that we have going on, I want the public to see that in life you can be authentic to yourself, heal, and have true, real relationships with people, even after they have been broken publicly or whatever. You can mend them. And that's what we're doing publicly. Because we've already mended our relationship ourselves.
Yeah.
Even the first time that I had posted you, everybody was like, y'all are talking? Are y'all cool? We've been talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are actually late. And I'm glad that we did it like that because I don't really want no one to have a early input on what it is that we got going on. Because I mean, I'm sure, well, I mean, I guess not for you, but for me, I was very scared to see you. Like I was nervous. Every time I kept talking to you, you just kept saying, no, Treasure, don't be like
I'm
that.
like,
it's fine. And I'm like, no, I'm super nervous, bro. Like I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. Like I know we've been talking on the phone, we be FaceTiming and stuff, but it has been a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even just a lot, a long time. And time sometimes does heal, and sometimes it just, you know, it creates a block that you just can't get over. And I'm happy that we broke through the block. And even with as much as a background that we have from wherever the background came from traveling, from life, from TV, from just being our kids' godparents and all of that other stuff. Those beautiful babies. My kids miss you too. Davion definitely told me to make sure I tell you hi.
I love
So I gotta make sure I do that. Yes. I do want to know, when people put their egos aside and they want to heal, what's the first thing that comes to your mind as far as us? Like, do you feel as though like it was, I mean, because it took us a long time to talk to each other. Do you think that it was more so you just was busy, or like it was an ego thing? Like I'm just not, I don't have time. Out of sight, out of mind.
No, you had to do some healing and I had to do some healing.
You did.
And that's it.
That's just it.
You have to heal yourself.
Yeah, you.
How can I come to you?
Absolutely right.
Imagine this. I was still drinking to this day. Hey, Treasure, you want to hang out? Would you really want to hang out with that girl?
To be honest, I can honestly say no. I can honestly say no. But you know, if we're being honest, I did not know that was how far you was into drinking and stuff like that until I moved.
It's not stuff like that. It was just drinking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, like drinking. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like just being lit. I had just had a baby, so when I had moved there, I definitely wasn't drinking. Yeah. So even seeing you drinking and stuff, like I just was like, okay, I have a baby. I was still breastfeeding. I was still big, trying to lose some weight. I wasn't a part of the team at the moment. That's probably why I felt so like out of place, and like I just wanted to come back home. Like I just was like I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like this just wasn't for me. I felt like I was getting on your nerves a lot. Not because because I did drink. Like I don't get it twisted. I did drink. You know what I'm saying? I still drink, but it just I guess maybe I didn't have the free time or whatever.
I feel as though everybody in your life at the moment, and the people that was in my life, everybody wasn't playing their role, so our role could go smoother, if that makes sense.
Roles in life, I definitely.
You get what I'm saying? Because if the people that we were counting on, from that disappointment, it rolls over to the next person. You know what I mean?
The next person
that's close to you. So if you're doing this, it rolls over to like the next person, just by default. That's what I've learned.
And with that, because realistically, like how I said, and I have said several times, I was going through a whole lot of stuff, relationship, financial, mentally, you know what I'm saying, my kids. I was dealing with a whole lot of stuff when that was going on. So
it's a combination of both of our lives at that around that time. Also, 2019, we were how old?
I don't know how old you was. I was about 22.
2019?
I was 22.
Oh, yeah, I was 21.
So what are you talking about? Sorry. That went clean over your head. You like, what? Treasure? No.
I was like, wait. That was like a time in both of our lives where it was stuff that was just changing.
Yeah.
And thank God it went more for the better, for what works for us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the thing about life is you just never know how it can end up.
If it's meant for you, it's always going to come back like a boomerang. That's what
boomerang,
they say.
and you just never know how things are going to turn out. From being in the club, we never would have thought we would be here, good, bad, or endeavor.
No.
With the recognition that we have from the things that we expose ourselves to.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And it wouldn't happen that way.
Dang, now that I think about it, I guess, yeah, because even when you moved to Miami, you could have stopped even talking to me then, but you didn't. You still kept, come down here, treasure. And it was, I was every month. I would literally be in Miami. Miami was definitely my second home. I kind of followed you a little bit. You had an apartment, I just ain't had to pay rent.
No, it's just like.
Yes.
It's good. All of it's good.
It is.
I told you it's good. It's nothing bad.
Yes, it is. I like that.
And you have the power to change and make and do whatever it is that you put your mind to.
We have healed. We have went through a whole lot. We have had hardships. Yeah. We've had good ships. We've had shit. So like all types of stuff. So let's shake up our energy a little bit. Let's talk about something funny. We kind of was speaking on it a little bit earlier, but let's talk about a funny memory that you have of me. And I'll tell you a funny, let's actually elaborate on the same memory. Let's share a funny memory with everyone else that we have had in our life. Because we have plenty more that we're about to make, but I want to know what's something that you just always think is so funny. I was actually going to use this. I was going to use that I could tell, I'm going to try to guess what you was going to say.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
I think it's funny, but you thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was funny when you always talk about my first boob job.
Oh my God. I was not even talking about in that direction, Angela.
It was so bad.
I said a funny memory. That
is a good memory. She was like, my God.
Number one, I never thought, we're going to clarify some stuff. I never thought it was funny. I'm laughing now because I don't believe you address it. Of all things in the world, you're going to bring up this titty. Number one, I like the original titties. That's what we're going to start off with.
Nice and flat.
You was 19 And you were 19. You was not a fully developed woman yet, and you wanted to go and get your boobs done. And as your friend, someone who loves you and care about you, I told you that you did not need to go and get your boobs done yet.
I did.
I told you to wait until you were 21, and you refused to wait until you were 21.
How am I gonna get out the hood with these bee stings?
And you got out the hood and got all the way to Hollywood with them lopsided titties.
They're good now.
They good now. They got them together. But that first job, remember how you got that first job too? Head down, pussy popping. But that first,
I was like, y'all take ones, right?
No, and really paid with ones too.
Okay.
No, that boob job. They were, and I thought you asked me my opinion. And I thought you said you loved that I was real with you. I'm true with you. I'm not going to lie to you because I love you. And they were uneven. They were like super uneven, bro. Like it was no way. If you looking in the mirror, them Jones was cock-eyed. It's no way that I could look in the mirror at your titties and tell you, no, they look good. I would be a full-blown yes man, which is not in my DNA. So
you have to take it all.
No, I had to take it there because the ones you got now,
it's like I was gonna go and just.
I seen these ones and these look good, but I seen these ones, but that one, and it's funny.
Hey.
That really used to piss you off because I remember.
It used to make me so mad.
It made you boiling because T told me about that one day when I came to Cali. When T was like, Treasure Chyna said, and I was like, oh my God, she's so. I was talking to her. Yes, I said the titties was uneven, but I thought I was being a real friend. Am I not supposed to tell the truth? That's when I learned that day that, Treasure, you too honest.
No, it's good though. I asked for a new pair.
Yeah, and you got them. Yes, you did.
I had to call a friend, phone a friend. What you say about these titties, right?
Yes.
It was lopsided, right?
Can't talk about them unless you're going to fix them. No, but since we elaborating on that, I guess back then, what was your smart remark that I didn't think was funny? That I didn't think was funny after I told you about your lopsided titties? What did you tell me? You just can't afford to get your titties done. How dare you? Because these titties are paid for. Yes.
She couldn't wait. She couldn't wait to get her boobs done. And I said, who's the implant?
No,
girl.
No, what had happened?
I would never get implants.
Because I wasn't sure.
She couldn't wait.
I wasn't sure if I was going to have any more kids. And I wanted to breastfeed. That's all that it was.
And I used to be like, you can still breastfeed with the men.
I don't want to breastfeed the man. I want to breastfeed my children. That's
your children.
Oh. Wait a minute. How am I gonna breastfeed them if I have implants?
Treasure. Did I breastfeed King? Did I breastfeed Dream? Yes, you can breastfeed babies with implants.
Well, how come mine wasn't working? Because after I had hams, I tried to, and it wasn't working.
What's your, okay, yeah.
I'm about to say.
That was a moment that, yes, like, that's why it was a good moment.
Yes.
That's a moment, because it was a long, ongoing thing.
That was actually a real moment. But I wasn't talking about something that I thought was funny that you didn't take funny, that you was taking personally the whole time.
A moment that I remember.
Yes, a moment that you remember. No, I'm about to say, I was going to say, I think something extremely funny that we did. We were some scammers at young ages.
Oh, gosh.
And do you remember when we scammed all of those dudes to get bail money? And
we can't teach these young ladies how to do it, but let me tell you what we did.
Wait a minute. Because we're not teaching, we're not saying
no, we can't. You can't do that.
This is definitely not acceptable.
No, let's go to another one. That's another one. You can't.
We ain't do nothing but just asked and received. That's all we technically did. It was just asking and receiving.
We can't do that one.
Okay.
Oh.
I personally think we was just asking and receiving, but okay. All right, what's something else Let me see something
Out of
funny.
all your memories, you want to talk about a scam.
I thought it was funny because we got a lot of money.
Okay, let me just tell y'all something. It wasn't nothing with no credit cards or nothing like that. Because you say scam and people just take it as.
Oh no. I'm about to say that's it. We was young. We was too young to even know about scamming. Like we was not even 21.
We was, and I don't want to say tricking.
Oh, we definitely wasn't tricking. I said we just was asking dudes, hey, can you give me some bail money?
Okay, I got locked up, right? Let's just say it because it's gonna look crazy. I got locked up. I get out of jail. And I was like, Treasure, I know what we need to do.
Yes.
Call all of my boyfriends at the time.
No, that it actually happened before then. We got to back it up. You had got locked up. You turned yourself in. Because you had a warrant. You turned yourself in. You didn't get locked up. You turned yourself in. And I drove you like the idiot.
I'm a courteous.
I know. I drove you. And I'm like, you're not going to get locked up. They're going to let you out. They was like, yep. Clink, clink. I was like, what? What are y'all doing? She didn't even do nothing. But yes, that happened. But yes, I thought you was going to be locked up. So I'm like, we got to get bail money. Because I had never dealt with this before. You know what I'm saying? We never dealt with that before. I'm like, we got to get bail money. Who should I call? You was like, call this person. I was calling my dudes. You was calling, I was getting your numbers for your dudes.
Call all these dudes, call your dudes.
Everybody was saying yes. So we just kind of collected the bail money.
We collected the money and we busted down.
We busted down like how we used to do on stage, baby. That's what we used to.
Oh my God.
Not busted the bag. Yes. I'm not busting the bag.
What's so crazy? Back in the day, you could just say stuff and people would get it. Now
no,
it's like,
you gotta be extra.
You have to elaborate.
I didn't mean that.
Okay, like when you go on the stage,
yes,
busting it, meaning like
you can't be like, you see Lil Riri. You can't say don't mean retarded. I mean Rihanna. Like I submit.
You can't say nothing.
You can't say nothing. This world too sensitive, man. I'm glad we grew up when we grew up before cell phones and social media, and then. Even you actually are the one who introduced me to social media. You was like, Treasure, you have to get on Twitter. And I was like, what? I just got on Facebook. Then Instagram came, Treasure. It's like Twitter for pictures. And I was like, what? Do you remember you said, it's like Twitter for pictures. And I was like, what?
We used to tweet some crazy stuff.
Nah, we really genuinely did.
Oh my gosh.
I think that our earlier years in life definitely set a tone for a whole lot of people. For sure. That was coming up after us, most definitely. Like for sure. I do not know. I think everything is going to end up going good, especially for us in general. Like I've been feeling it, manifesting it, and I just really feel like God is in the neighborhood, and I've been feeling like that a lot lately. Like even not even like with you. I actually like even I've been telling my friends, I'm like, yo. I'd be just riding down the street sometime and I'd be like, yo, Allah, you know?
Yeah.
And just like, because, you know, I do practice Islam. I do try my best to, you know, stay on top of it, still learning, reading and different things like that. But I still have a Bible. I still read from that too, because I think growing up in one realm, I still have an appreciation and still love it. Like even when I pray before I eat, sometimes it just comes out the Baptist prayer. And I'm just like, okay, well.
Because it's Jesus, it's the Holy Spirit in you.
Yeah, it's definitely in there as well, for sure. I know that it is.
Yeah. I'm going to holler at you later about all that, though.
Oh, yes.
You know, because we didn't even get into that. That's a personal thing.
It is. It most definitely is. That's why, you know what, even with us talking, like, I think that personally, it definitely, it lifted weights off of me because I wasn't really sure where, just what to expect, where life was going and just different things. And it's kind of hard to coexist with someone else that you want to exist with, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, how do you put that together? But I'm happy that
I'm happy too.
I'm happy that we put it together and we are able to show people that real friends stand the test of time. And it might don't happen overnight, but if it's worth it and if you're worth it, because you are worth it.
You're worth it.
Yes. Gotta reach over here. Yes. I got this. My thing is kind of tight too.
Hey, I'm like, okay, wait a second.
Chyna, let me reposition my body. You know?
I'm like getting choked up
Yeah,
on his butt.
we getting old and you see this time. Girl, we up in here, baby. We up in here. I don't know. We take it back to apartments. We're gonna have to take it back to the city and go back over to Brinkley.
Oh my good. You know what was so crazy? I was doing an order, right? And one of the girls she ordered, it was the same address. And but she was in a different unit.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't gonna say nothing like, hey, I used to live in that same building.
I would have did it.
In
Girl,
Brinkley.
that would have been something that for one would have been extremely relatable, and it would have been, oh my God.
I'll find her.
People, girl, they probably would have put a sign on the outside of that door to some, oh, Angela White, aka Blac Chyna, used to live in this unit. Yes.
Yo, crazy. So
this burn mark on the tub is from her mom. This burn mark is from her mom. Do you remember that? Do you remember when she burned up the tub and you was so mad? You was like, I gotta get out of here, Treasure. You was like, I'm gone. I'm moving to Miami. I'm not doing this no more. I said, yo. Deuces. Hopped in the car with Granny and was out.
Let's
man.
go.
That was out. I'm proud of you though, Pig. I'm so happy that you actually are right here with me. Like, I mean, last night was amazing, but today a nice continuance. It's too short of a time. Like, I really feel like we definitely need more time without other people taking up your energy as well and mine.
I do have a question for you.
We got a question for me. What's up, baby?
Because you was like, oh, I'm so nervous to see you, da 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 da. I was like, Treasure, you know, I have the hotel room. I even made sure I got a double bed. And I was like, you can stay with me. So, you know, when you was like, oh, I'm going to my Airbnb, I was like, on the face, I was like.
Ramon caught that too. Ramon was like, oh, she's mad. She don't want you to leave yet. I was like, but I thought that her uncle just got here. I thought why would she call her uncle to come down here?
Before when you were checking into your Airbnb, I said, Treasure, you can stay with me in my room.
Before I got it? I mean, but I had to make sure my team had somewhere to
But why would you tell me yes?
I never told you yes, Angela. You
never said no.
You must have heard it. You wanted me to say yes. You wanted me to say yes. That's why you got a double bed and an extra large shower. Listen, we're not doing this no more, okay?
I was like, okay, well.
No, I got you. I'm about to say, shoot, we didn't have some time. Shoot, do you? Okay, all right. I gotta say, all right. I finally I've thought of it. The funniest thing that I can remember, and this is kind of a little bit of abuse, and it's funny.
Oh gosh.
And it's crazy because it involves liquor as well. They used to be a little alky. That's crazy.
I did my thing.
I did my thing. I did too. We were in Mexico.
You got really drunk and you slapped.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that time. We're not talking about you. We're not talking about me.
I was saying what time.
Dang.
With the fountain.
How soon people forget about themselves, right?
With the fountain.
We're not talking about me.
And on the fly that was trying to get on me, you slapped me. You was like, pow! I was like, what's that about? You was like, it was a fly. I was trying to get the fly.
I did.
I was the time.
It was definitely that time. But you know what? Now
I was like, dang.
Now I feel bad for even bringing it up because liquor does make you forget things. I forgot completely even about the fountain.
You gotta get time.
Do you still have that video? Yo, that video.
I don't.
That was hilarious, young.
We had fun.
You had to pay a fine for me that night.
It was good though.
You definitely had to pay a fine. We've had some fun in life, baby. I am the planner. I am the one who.
How did that?
Let me have this moment. Oh. Dang. Just let me have this moment. Why? I'm the mama. You said I took care of you.
Yeah, well, take care of you now.
Now I'm trying to toot my own horn. You don't want me to toot it. You said I took care of you with the black shots.
I didn't know where you was going with this.
You sitting talking about the lopsided titties when you was constipated with the lopsided titties. Who took care of you?
Oh, you pushed my stomach and I was like, thank you, Lord Jesus. I had an alien.
I mean, get up. The damn camera is still.
But you remember one time you went to that house and you was like, who the fuck?
Smell like antibiotics up in that joke. Yo, I knew it was.
I was like, that wasn't even my shit.
I said, yo, and I went back and it was still in the toilet. I said, Lord, who would do this in the front bathroom? It's like 5 bathrooms in this house. Why would someone do this in the front bathroom? Why? And we know who the culprit was.
Oh, I had to tell you.
Yes, you definitely told
Lucky
me.
girl, we're going to say who it is.
We ain't going to do that to you today.
It was another one of our friends.
Yes.
She was ruthless.
She blew it up. She definitely, she and it was definitely antibiotics. I'm a nurse. She shouldn't have been drinking. That's just what it was. It just should have been that way. Yo, we're going to sit and be laughing and talking about everybody for absolutely ever. Come here.
Okay.
I'm going to come slide over here with you because I'm going to come and lean on you and hug on you. I told you I just want to love on you.
I love it.
Look, you're trying to get to my booty. Look,
I was trying to make sure that it wasn't poking out in the back.
She's trying to make sure it's
like
not.
the crack ain't out.
The crack is behind me.
I'm holding it though, so the crack don't come out.
You want me to hold yours too? That's just what you want. Look at you. Look like a little koala bear.
Mm-hmm. No, I love you.
I love you too.
I was on the phone with Treasure, and I was like, Treasure, I promise I'm never gonna hurt you ever again, and I love you.
I love you too, and you better not. If you do, I'm coming to your new house in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I'm gonna wait outside with a boombox. And I'm gonna play loud music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna play all of the songs that we used to dance to back in the day. You know what song I always think about you on? Rick Ross. What we was gonna say? That Rick Ross song.
If Rick Ross do $1 million,
we was there. That did not happen. Rick Ross do what? We was
and nobody got.
Listen, nah, man. All right, we'll be talking forever because that just made me want to bring up the story. Man, woo, we had some time. You know what? Somebody actually did say, somebody actually did say that y'all have enough stuff to talk about. Like when I was reading one of the comments, somebody said, y'all have enough stuff to talk about to literally start a whole show. I said, you know what? If we started a show just talking about our past, not even just talking about it.
It's actually rather funny.
It's extremely funny. It would be too many different things that we could actually talk about that not only will be relatable, but also be extremely entertaining. Because like I said, we have had an extremely good life. And I mean, we've had a whole lot of memories. And we didn't elaborate on a lot of things. Like we didn't elaborate on Jamaica. We didn't elaborate on Bahamas.
We don't. We're making, listen, you guys, we're making new memories.
Yes.
This is not a one-off. This is just a... Back me up. This is
I don't even know what a one-off is.
A one-off is like we're having this conversation and then we're never talking to them ever again.
Oh well, I never even put that in my vocabulary for this.
Okay,
with us.
Well, I want them to know this. Okay.
No, we're not doing no one-offs. This is just a teaser to the beginning of Prepare to Be Sick of Us.
Ooh.
How you like that? How you like me now?
Say it again.
I mean, shoot, prepare to be sick of us. I think that's what it is. Yes.
I never knew how to really properly dance, but we'll talk about that later.
I carried us on the stage. I carried us on the stage
I still
with
don't
my
have no
entertainment.
moves. I tried, and it just never hit.
You had one move.
No, I mean, like, just in you know, this is what I got. Like, if we was to go out, I'd be like...
I'm about to say, that's because you had all of this badoonka-doonk. I didn't have all of that. I had to be a pole monkey and swinging and doing all of that. I did, though. Shoot. I used to be up there. Do you remember in Tampa? You just stopped.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, we're going to leave. Let's leave with one last story. and that's the Tampa one.
Okay.
Bomb.
But you want to...
No, you, and I'll jump in. But it was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was hot. It was smoky. It was steamy. All the men's in Tampa, it seemed like they didn't want to smoke weed. They just wanted to smoke Black and Milds. It was all black and mild. I'm talking about we could not breathe in there.
It was bad.
My throat was scratchy from inhaling so much daggone
Hair smelled
black
like
and miles. But I think we definitely got booked to come there, and that was the most money we have ever made on stage. Individual, that's 22 bands. Like, I mean, and we wasn't even on stage for that long.
And the thing is, I never would really sweat like that on stage.
This girl was dripping. And I never even, you know what? I'm about to say that was the only time you had ever really sweated. But I think I was dripping like that because this girl threw a drink on me. I'm pretty sure she threw a drink on me because I was down there.
Until
I didn't
recently.
I didn't tell you that until recently.
Thank God.
No, but she definitely threw a drink on me. But we had so much money up there. I was like, why would I ever entertain you? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, girl, do you see this?
It was it was fat.
Scoop.
It was like
I'm about to say, oh no, that wasn't even the worst. Do you remember that time when we would? I'm about to say we'll never stop talking. We'll never stop talking. That's what we're gonna leave them on. We're gonna leave y'all on the suspense of wanting to know about that last time.
The last time,
or that time in Miami. Oh, girl, in the club. Remember that time that girl tried to tell me I wasn't in on the bag? Do you don't remember that time? She ain't know I was in there with you.
Oh,
and she tried to carry me and say, you out dancing with us. I said, do you see this shit? This is my foot. Girl, we gonna talk about that another time.
Look, I don't remember that one. I'm like,
girl, I'm about to say what we gonna talk about it another time. But yes, I think that there is no goodbyes in this. This is I'll see you later. Well, you about to get in the car with me.
No, I'm
about to take you somewhere.
Can you take me? I just asked. I was like, I'm like, wait.
You ain't going nowhere without me. We about to go together.
Let's go.
We about to go?
Look at you in the hallway.
Yes. No, we will never stop talking. Because I'm not gonna let you go. But you about to get in the car with me anyway.
Yeah.
And I love you so much. Thank you for coming and talking to me. But everybody else is just gonna have to hear everything else later.
The waist is still in though.
Yes. You're yours. Look at your waist. It's booty.
It's grandma.
Grandma, okay.
Chyna shines like a diamond.
Grandma booty now.
Treasure buried deep within. We don't walk, we stomp through sin. Big steps, bigger dreams, we're tearing at the seams. Prepare to be sick of us. Chyna and treasure, that's dangerous. Chyna and treasure, you can hush. Chyna and treasure, you can touch. Prepare to be sick of us. Prepare to be sick of us.